All right, we're getting set for UFC 200 on Saturday night. Enrique Marin will be meeting Sage Northcutt, who is here with us. And Sage, we're obviously from Canada. Did you spend any time in Montreal for this particular camp with TriStar?
Yes, I did. I was actually in Montreal for about 5 weeks. Montreal is very beautiful.
Are you going to be bouncing back and forth between Texas and Montreal for future camps? What is the relationship with TriStar at the moment?
You know, TriStar is great. Everybody there is super nice, super friendly. They're all great guys. So I had to come back home, take final exams, and right now it's summertime. So I came back home, finished my final exams, and finished my camp up inside Texas.
And will you go back to school in the fall?
Yes. So I'm trying to decide on that right now, and talking with, I guess, my family and the counselors at my school, Texas A&M, and we're going to figure it out.
Have you learned anything about yourself being able to balance all of this together? And you're 20 years of age. I mean, I couldn't fathom this, but how is that balancing act between school and being a full-time professional fighter?
You know, I cut back my classes for school, so it makes it a little bit easier. And now being summertime, I'm able to train full-time. So coming back to the last 5 weeks or so, I guess, I was able to train constantly. And it's like I'm a full-time fighter for this fight coming up.
Certainly, many fighters can take a lot from a loss. Having that fight at 170 pounds, were there any positives of fighting at the higher weight class that were of a benefit for you in the preparation that week? I know you had the strep throat. That was obviously something to deal with. But in terms of the weight, how did you feel at 170 pounds?
You know, normally when I fight at 170 pounds, I feel great. I wasn't my normal self because of strep throat, like you mentioned. And I wasn't really able to get out of bed, much less being back there warming up like a lot of people don't know. I wasn't able to warm up before the fight. I actually had my coaches rubbing out my leg because my whole entire right leg was completely numb. And I think it was because I was that sick. So walking up into the octagon for that fight, I believe I had to take my mouthpiece out 2 or 3 times because I couldn't breathe with it in, really. So it was very tough for me and wasn't myself.
Final thing, I mean, you're somebody that you just have such a positivity about you. I mean, in MMA, sometimes you don't see that positivity. When you handle social media, I mean, do you just block that stuff out? Because I feel that like any normal human being would let all of this stuff get to them and become very negative as a result of that. That hasn't been the case with you. I mean, do you feel that like social media can be just a poison to a degree?
Well, you're right. Some people do say some negative things, and you kind of have to block it out, like you were saying. So not focusing on it, kind of just not even thinking about it, not dwelling on it, just focusing on the positive stuff that people say.
Okay, well, we wish you all the best going into Saturday night, Sage, and thanks so much for this time.
Thank you very much.